Hello everyone. Today we are going to see how Power BI and Azure can be integrated, and we will test it using Postman as well as using ASP.NET Web Core Web project. Okay, so we'll start with Azure Active Directory. Here you will go to app registration. I already have 3 apps. I will create one more app. So new registration. Okay, I will give the name Power BI embedded 4. Okay, I use account, multi-tenant, platform web, give some URL. It's optional, but I'm giving it. I have a IIS web server, so I'm giving him some URL like this. It's a blank page. Okay, and okay, side by side I am taking some screenshots so that a PDF will be made out of that. So I'm storing the screen. Here we have what we have mentioned is a name. We have mentioned multi-tenant. We also mentioned a URI, and now I am saying register. What happens is this application will be created. We can see here you don't have application ID URI, and if you click on that, if you want to set it, see it is creating a URI. Let's save it. But interesting thing is, if you go to overview again, okay, here you can see, and this will be kept in mind that the application ID and this application ID URI, okay, they are they are same, okay, unique. We have a tenant ID. Okay, so let's say I have created 10 applications. For that 10 application, client ID will be different, but for that all 10 applications or apps, tenant ID will be same. It will not change. Okay, and in case of this is a service principal base. So here this is the case that the application ID appears here, while if it is not for customer, it is if it is for organization, then I will show you one more example where this ID will be different, this principal ID will be different. So for time being, just keep in mind that these two things are same. Okay, I'm saving this thing. Okay, now what arrangement we have to make here? First of all, you will see what default arrangement it have. Okay, authentication, can you see here the URL which you have given, it is now available here. Okay, our localhost URL, okay, by default, because we have specified this URL while creating the application. By default, these things are here as it is. I haven't touched it yet. So this is what by default setting. Multi-tenant, here both are unchecked, so we will keep them unchecked. If required later on, we will change it, but right now by default we are keeping it. Okay, this is what the default setting is. We are not changing it at all. Keep it as it is. about certificate and secret, yet no certificate is there, no client secret is there. So I'm creating a client secret, let's say secret 4, and now the secret key, I will copy this value somewhere because I may need it while doing the postman query. So this is secret value, this is the client ID. I'm taking out this client ID, okay, and this is tenant ID, I'm taking out it also, tenant ID, okay. Now till this point we have client ID, we have tenant ID, we have this application ID URL. I will not use it right now, okay, but just for reference I will save it somewhere. Next is certificate secret, yes, it's done. Token configuration we will not do. API permission, now this is what the scenario is, default scenario, okay. What I have to do is I will go to, see, this is the Microsoft graph. I will do one thing, click on the add permission, and within that add permission we will select Power BI. As you can see here, in request API permission we will select Power BI service. We have two type of permissions, delegated and application. In application what you can see is tenant read all and tenant read write all, add them, okay. Okay, again go back to Power BI services. In delegated permissions I can see few permissions like tenant, again here tenant read write, I will select. We have workspace related permissions, I will select. We have some report level permissions, those also I will select, okay. So right now what we have is these permissions of Power BI. We will grant admin access to all of them. Let's see, okay, this is what we have. Now in expose API you may add scope, you can write any scope name you want. If you want, let's say I am adding OpenID 4 is the scope name, admin user, copy paste, add scope, okay. App roles, I'm not adding app role. Owners, yeah, I have this owner. Along with this I have some other users. So you can see here by default this is the condition, okay, and I'm saving it. Now if I say add owner, if I add one more, and these are some users, I'm adding them, already exist, okay, I can't add, I think so, okay, leave it. Here is my user, and if that user exists, okay, see, this user already exists, okay, user 3, user 4. So since I selected this one, that's why it was not allowing me to add, because I was already there, exist, right, okay. So I have added owner. Along with that, in roles and administrator I have a role. The name of role is cloud application administrator. Let me add myself. Here I am already there in the form having a scope directory inherited, okay. I will do add one more time myself. So add assignment. This time I am adding myself again along with two more users. And now here the scope was directory, and here the scope is this resource. Okay, so this is what I did. Okay, come back and in manifest, yeah, this is all the manifest which got created. So done. Now after this thing, we will go to once again. I want to go to Azure Active Directory. Here are some properties. You can see the properties. Okay, go to properties and see the access management and all that, and manage the security default. Keep it no. Okay, this is what the default setting is. Don't change it, keep it as it is, and give the access management. This is the tenant ID. So let's say any number of applications you create, this is the tenant ID. Okay, for iGraphics, so it will remain intact. So keep it as it is. Now we will prepare a postman request. So for that, first come back to app.powerbi.com. So here we have, let's say, one workspace, and within that workspace, okay, now whatever I have created in Azure, okay, let me show. Yeah, so whatever app we have created, you can see those apps in app integration. So right now I have 4 apps. Okay, so these are the 4 apps. The fourth app, now I want to refer this app, and Power BI should know that this app you have created. So what we will do is, we will go to Power BI, a workspace. Either you have to create now new workspace, or you can use the existing one. Go to access. Okay, and if I just write PBI, what I can see is Power BI 4 app. Okay, I can integrate it as an admin. Okay, now this app is will be registered as an admin. Okay, so here you can see this app is now registered, okay, as admin. Okay, and close this one, or you can experiment the same thing by creating new workspace. Okay, so this is the access level. See, service principal is now there. So you have to go to access. You have to, okay, add this as an admin. Remember, you have to add it here in workspace. Otherwise, this Power BI will never come to know that you have created something there. Okay, one more thing. This is report. This is data set. If you click on this, you get the dataset ID. So just write this dataset ID somewhere in our notepad. If you click on the report, you will get report ID. Write it down somewhere. Okay, so this is dataset, and this is report. Okay, now we'll go to postman. What happens is, I have some collections already created, so I will not discuss them. This is the request how I created. Just see this. This is a post request. Okay, and it is pointing to, this is your tenant ID. Okay, I will write it down that this is your tenant ID. Okay, and you have to specify this over to auth and all that. Okay, now this is your client ID. If you see this is your client ID. It is written here itself. In this scope, you have to use this string. Okay, you are using service principal flow, client credential flow, using service principal. This is the client secret. Okay, I will just uh, save this thing first. Okay, see, it starts with ep and it starts with 98. See, it starts with ep and it starts with 98. So these are the password. Okay, client secret, and we are providing client secret and client id. And if you click on and in header, I don't have anything. In body, it's a form data kind of. Okay, if I say send, what I get is a access token. Okay, I will copy this access token. Okay, I'm just taking a snapshot first that I have received the access token. Now, as soon as I copy this access token, I will first go to a site called jwt.ms. Okay, and paste your access token here. You can see here roles section. Okay, where the read write application specific roles we created that time, so those are now added here. So these roles must be there. Okay, this section should be visible. And the next thing is, after you get access token, what you will do with this access token. So I have one more request, where in header I will clear the old token, paste the new one. Okay, save it. I have a body. In that body you can see I have a dataset id and report id. So the dataset id and report id, let me ensure again. This is dataset id starting with e4 and report id e0. Is it e4 and e0? Yeah. So dataset id you have to specify, not the workspace id. It should not be a workspace id. It should be a dataset id and report id. Okay, in body, that's the JSON. That's why raw and JSON you have to specify. I'm highlighting here. You have to specify raw. You have to specify JSON in the body, having a post URL, generate token, and post is the type of HTTP method. What it will do is, based on the roles you have got in your access token, it will try to grab this dataset and report ID, and it will generate a token for you. Let's see, will it generate or not. But for that, in header you have to specify the access token. Okay, so this is nothing but the access token. Okay, and this is the authorization bearer. Okay, this thing is also important, and it should be separated with one space. Okay, save it. As you said, you should get a token. So this is what the token is. This is the token. Okay, with the help of token, what I can do is, 1 minute. So I have created one more request here. What I did is, first go to um, I first go to Power BI. You can see here we have workspaces. Okay, out of this is the workspace which I have selected, and if you click on this workspace, we get the workspace ID. So just write it down. It starts with EF. So workspace ID, I have write it down. I have written it. which starts with EF. Okay, report ID starts with E0, data source ID starts with E4. So for this workspace, how many reports are there? So I want to take it out through the postman. So what I will do, I will write the groups. Okay, I just highlight here. I have written groups, then this is the group ID or workspace ID, then I have written reports. Okay, because I want to know the list of reports through the I mean in that specific workspace. I have added this access token. So this is the access token. Okay, this is the workspace ID. Okay, and this is the attribute application JSON content type. Okay, I will save it. So as I say, and okay, it will give me, it will return me the list of reports. Let me try once again. Yeah, so it is now returning me list of report. See, for this workspace ID, I am getting these are the reports. Okay, and the report name is US sales analysis. One thing I forget, if I remove this body, okay, I think it should not impact because here we are not giving him input as a I mean data set and reports and all that. Let me check once again. Yeah, okay, we don't need body here. What we need is the access token, and from that access token we got the URL. So the same experiment we will do in MVC now. uh, I will first visit this GitHub, and I will try to extract the code from there. So in this GitHub, okay, I have a .NET Core code. Okay, I have Java, Node.js, Python. Out of that, I will extract the .NET code. Okay, and here I am doing it for embed for your customer. Okay, so just go here and download this code. Okay, I have already downloaded it and a little bit customized it, but not to that much extent. But see, this is a app setting JSON file. We have a Power BI section here. So whatever workspace ID and report ID you have, okay, is the report ID starting with E0, and workspace ID starting with EF. Okay, we'll just copy paste here. I have a AAD service file here. I have a method get access token. So for time being, I have hard coded some values here. Okay, what I hard coded is, see, this is what our application looks like. This is what the code look like. That if it is service principal, okay, you have to set the value from app config service principal, or it is already set there. uh, so in our notepad, if you see, the client ID 98 starting with 98 is there, client secret starting with EP is there. Okay, you have to use the authority like http login microsoftonline.com/42b. This is your tenant ID. Okay, you have to write the tenant ID. So build, and then in this client tab.acquire token, this is the scope base URL. So you have to use this scope base URL. So I'm pointing out it somewhere what exactly you have to do. uh, number sorry, what exactly we are going to do is, This is your client ID. Okay, and this is your secret, client secret. Then this is the tenant ID. Okay, and this is your scope base URI. Okay, once you specify this thing, I will just add one debugger here so that we will check what exactly is getting generated. One debugger here, one debugger right here. As soon as the access token will be generated, we can monitor that. Then one more here. Here using the workspace ID and report ID, it should come to create embedded token. Okay, and using this embedded token, we will create we will embed the report. So let's debug it. We will check the workflow. First it will go to controller. First it will go to controller. Okay, from controller it is validating something, then it will come back here and let's see step by step. It is going inside get embedded param. Now here it is going inside to get the Power BI client. We will go inside this function. Here get access token function is getting called. We will go inside that. Here, as we know, the authentication mode is service principal, so it will go in else block. Okay, and tenant ID whichever we have specified. Okay, I'm not using actually this variable, so leave it. Okay, now here using this client ID secret and this authority URL, it will build a client app object. We have created client app object. Okay, and after this unauthorized using this unauthorized using this acquire token function based on the this scope base URI and whatever client app object we have. Okay, it will create a token. Let's check the token. Yes, it is created. This is what the token is. I can copy this just to test and will paste it here to check the rules. Okay, I got the rule section as we did it in Postman. After this, I will use this token. I will go out of this function. Once I have this token, the next thing is how to generate this is the access token. Based on the access token, now I will generate the second token. I will pass this access token with the bearer and as a credential, this credential object. Now I will return, this is the Power BI URL api-powerbi.com along with this credential whichever I just got. Okay, with the combination of these two I will create a Power BI client and return it. Now once I get the Power BI client, what I have is this workspace ID and a report ID. Based on this workspace ID and report ID, I will create a object of Power BI report. It is created. Yes, it is created. Dataset ID and all that I got. And this is the name of report. This is the type of report. Okay, this is the web URL of this. This is the group ID, and then reports, and then this is the report ID. So this becomes the actual report URL which is going to be rendered. Now it will check some function like if dataset is present or not. If yes, then add the dataset ID in the collection. Then it will go in get embedded token. Inside get embedded token, if we go again the same process, Power BI client and all that to create the token actually. So here again access token is created one more time. This is the second time he is creating the access token. You got the access token. Power BI client is also got created. So here is the query for this report, for this data set, for this workspace, create a token. Now the token request is created. Okay, and then generate token. We'll go inside this generate token, and we got a token. So let's see the token. Here is the token. As we have obtained token, okay, and using this token, okay, this token actually contains report, dataset, and workspace related metadata. Using this token, one more object will be created, embed reports having report ID. See here that report ID and then report name and then report embedded URL. All three combined in this embedded report object. Now one more thing is, with the help of embed report object and type report and token, we will return one more object, embed param. And now JSON serialization, because now it is everything is in this object format. I want it in JSON format, so it is getting serialized to JSON. So now it is converted to JSON, and now this JSON, and now this report is getting rendered here. Okay, so in this way, and we can visit the view. This is a embed info controller. So if we go to views, so whatever the content is there, I can see here on the left hand side code is present in below file. This content is written in this section, in this div, you can see. Okay, and then this is a section called as report container, and that within that report container we can see this report is getting rendered. For this we need this thing, some JavaScript APIs we need. Okay, so the overall thing is here, as soon as you get the embed parameter and JSON serializer will take care of the rest of the things. So get embed info. Okay, so this is getting called, this function is getting called, and this function is returning the JSON. In this way we have seen that using this first we will experiment with Postman, and once this Postman gives you proper token and all that, okay, similarly we will then experiment with ASP.NET. That's it for now, and hope you like the video. Thank you.